On The Fan, it is time to learn more from this man at NRL Physio, Brian Senior. You can follow him on social media. He's got the Patreon account set up today. And on this week's show, we're talking about ruptured Achilles tendon. Because it's not the most common injury in the NRL, but it comes up a lot. And indeed, even pre-season this year, poor old Newcastle, Jaden Brayley, tragically ruptured Achilles tendon before his season starts. Is it an injury we have more and more? Is there any evidence to say it's more common these days?
Yeah, so actually, I guess a recent year was quite prevalent. In 2020, we had 6 Achilles ruptures, which was quite insane. The previous 5 years before that, we only had 3 in the entire 5 years. Wow. So it kind of ebbs and flows. Definitely, I think in 2020, a big thing was the shutdown of the comp, for a certain period of time, guys, potentially getting a bit deconditioned and then having to really ramp it back up. There's been a few examples over in the NFL in similar circumstances where we've seen an increase in Achilles injuries. And I think as guys get bigger, faster, stronger, those tendons only stay about the same size, so they can rupture a bit easier. Is
it true that this is an injury that can have recurrence if you do hurry your comeback, or are we a little more advanced at that stage? I'd heard that over the years, but is that still the case in 2022?
Yeah, definitely. A tendon needs a certain amount of time to remodel, and in simple terms, stitch back together, heal up, and then strengthen up. So if you try and push that too fast, the re-rupture rate is there. But well managed, so in professional sport, and I would consider, all professional sport Achilles ruptures well managed, the recurrence rate's only about 3 to 5%, so it is quite low. So they've got a pretty good recipe at the moment for getting guys back on the field and not having them re-rupture, which is good.
Now, this will sound painful for the viewer who's never really understood what actually happened. But when the Achilles ruptures, is it like the calf muscle just rolls back up all the way to the knee? Is it that dramatic?
It doesn't go that far, but you'll see, and there's been a few, now we've got these wonderful HD cameras, and you'll actually see if the camera's zoomed in at the right moment, you can see the whole calf pop. You see the ripple of the muscle, and you can almost see the calf sort of go up the leg. So it does, the separation does occur from the Achilles from the heel area, but yeah, not quite up to the knee.
Is there a best case scenario on how quick you can come back from a rupture?
Yeah, so the quickest we've seen in the NRL is 5 months, which, look, 15 years ago, unheard of. It was a 9 to 12 month injury, and not only that, when guys got back, they were, quite slow off the mark and those kind of things. But we had Darius Boyd, 3-4 years ago. He came back 5 months, 3 days. We had Carl Lawton last season. He came back in 5 months, 4 days, so missed out on the record by 1 day. But yeah, look, they're pushing it lower and lower, and I think Jaden Brayley will be a really interesting one to see, how close he goes to the record too.
All right, let's hope there's not too many ruptured Achilles tendons any time in the future, but now you know more about it thanks to this man at NRL Physio. Thanks for coming on The Fan.
No worries, Bossy.